9:30, silver on the line. A cool wind crossed the platform and brushed your ghost by mine. The station clock was shining through a veil of tender rain, and every passing carriage pulled a ribbon through my name. I stood beside the yellow line with nowhere I should be, except inside the little past that still returns. One breath, one gentle view, and all that quiet was me and you. The door slid close, the night moved on, but something in me stayed until the dawn. Spring platform blue, beside me laugh, and for a second turn the way we do when old fires in the body still can burn. But it was just the weather playing tricks with glass and steel, and just the kind of lonely time can make a memory feel. Begin just to feel your shape beneath my skin. No letter came, no voice broke through, just rail and sky and platform blue. Spring platform blue, I still find you there in the cold bright air, in the shine that falls on everyone but feels like two. Spring platform blue, I don't need you was gone, but your light stayed behind. Drifted near the rail. Coffee rings on plastic counters. Evening settling on the scale. You were choosing tight tulips like they still deserved a room. And the way you held them gently made the whole station feel in bloom. Late flowers on flickered into place, about cities seen through windows, about living at that pace. You said flowers at the wrong hour sometimes mean a little more, like a kindness missed by daylight but remembered at the door. Then your train arrived in silver, breath and sparks beneath the roof. You stepped in and raised the tulips with a smile that felt like truth. No big ending, no confession, just the hush after the chime. And those late flowers kept their color long after you left platform 9. Late flowers on platform 9, soft color in the eye and light. You were standing with a paper bag, like a song before the night. Late flowers on platform 9, small and bright against the gray. Some things bloom when no one plans them, then quietly change your day. Now when stations dim at evening and the loudspeakers unwind, I remember how those flowers made the whole world feel on time. Rooftops blur beneath a violet sky. Cafes breathe low along the street, and all at once the distance isn't wide when memory rises with the heat. I live between arrivals and goodbyes, but some names never leave the mind. These rooms that learn your name never let me feel alone. Every borrowed wall and window turns a little into home. Not because you will return, not because I still pretend, but because the heart keeps lighting what it cannot hold again. A suitcase by the table, half unpacked, a coat across the wooden frame. I've learned to make a life from passing through, but not to make the dark forget your name. The hallway ice machine, the distant cars, the elevator's tired chime, they all become a kind of evening choir that sings you back in quieter time. I don't ask the night for more than just the grace of what was yours. These rooms that learn your name never let me feel alone. Every borrowed wall and window turns a little into home. Not because you will return, not because I still pretend, but because the heart keeps lighting what it cannot hold again. Maybe love is not the staying, maybe love is how it stays. In the folds of passing curtains, in the lamp's familiar haze, in the rain against the glass at 2 a.m., in the silence after planes, in the way a lonely room still remembers who you gave. These rooms that learn your name still keep your light with me. In every half-known city, in every soft anonymity. Not because the past is near, not because I can't move on, but because some gentle echoes teach the heart to travel on. Curtains moving in a foreign room, rain silver on the pane. I lay back down beside the midnight glow and let the dark repeat your name.
Telephone began to
Bars go quiet, trains go thin. How some streets can hold your shadow even after you've gone in. You said your room was full of silence. I said mine was full of rain. Then somehow that became enough to make the distance feel less strange. When the first birds touched the morning, your breath turned softer on the line. You said I should let this end now, like the dawn had drawn a sign. No name left, no number saved, just the hush before goodbye. And the dial tone kept your absence like blue light keeps the sky. Wrong number, right night, your voice falling through the wire. No history, no goodbye, just a spark without a flare. Wrong number, right night, two strangers talking low, like the dark had found a language only sleepless people know. Now when telephones ring late and the window holds the moon, I remember how one mistake made the whole night open up.
Red neon trembling in the rain. Spring moves slowly through the street. Silver water on the glass, and your memory found me there. Late night windows losing light, soft scooters fading through the square. I stood still beneath the mist and let your shadow fill the air. Love still lives in spring mist, glowing red beneath the night. Hope still burns through quiet weather like a rooftop lamp of light. Every road I walk remembers, every drop recalls your name. Love still lives in spring mist, and my heart still feels the same. At the station near the trees, pale blossoms trembled overhead. I laid beside the curb, soft rain falling where we said nothing at all, just hand in hand. Your fingers warming through my coat, that little silence kept me safe, like a promise no one spoke. Old street lamp shimmered on the glass, petals gathered by the lane. Someone yawned beside the shelter, clouds move slowly after rain. That old vinyl waits for me, dust and gold upon the sleeve. Morning sunlight touched the room, like it knew what I still keep. We once played it after rain, when the city slept below, your head resting on my shoulder, and the chorus moving slow. Then your perfume crossed the air, in the silence of the lift. Years can fade a photograph, still one breath can wake the ribs. Up above the rooftop lamp held its amber through the cold. You leaned softly on my arm, and the dark let go its hold. By the river, midnight hush, neon trembling on the tide. We once listened to the water, with the whole world put aside. Now the steps are wet and empty, still they whisper when I pass. Every ripple under gold brings your breathing gently back. One last violin after rain, near the bridge at closing time. One warm bakery before dawn, red and blue light in the sky. Spring came in through half-open doors, touched the curtains, touched the room, and the love I thought was buried started breathing with the bloom. Love still lives in spring mist, glowing red beneath the night. Hope still burns through quiet weather, like a rooftop lamp of light. Every road I walk remembers, every drop recalls your name. Love still lives in spring mist, and my heart still feels the same. Love still lives in fragile music, in the doorway, in the rain, in the river, in the rooftops, in the soft blue dawn again. If the city keeps our echoes, I will let them gently stay. Love still lives in spring mist, and it blooms in me this way. Red neon blurred in the mist, morning rising pale and slow. Spring moves softly through the window, like the years I used to know. And I did not call your name, still your warmth stayed in the light. Love still lives in spring mist, under rooftop light tonight.
objects, how they keep a second life. Then you shook the glass world softly, and the room turned cold and bright. Outside, scooters crossed the sunlight. He'd climb wide along the lane, but inside that small invention, everything was hushed like rain. The owner pulled the shutters, evening gathered on the floor. You set the little globe between us, like a thought worth keeping warm. No promise left behind it, no address, no grand goodbye. Just a snowfall trapped in summer, and your eyes in closing light. On the city, and the windows blur with white, I remember one small snowfall turning slowly in July.
Hotel glass and midnight rain, a suitcase open by the chair. I leave one lamp beside the bed, as if your shadow might find me there. Another town with unfamiliar streets, another room that learns my name. The window hums with distant traffic lights, but every dog still feels the same. I hang my coat where silence always hangs. I let the ceiling breathe above, and in the hush between the elevator chimes, I hear the shape of who I loved. No, I don't wait for footsteps in the hall. I only keep a little light through it all. A lamp in every city for the part of you I keep, not to bring you back to me, not to wake what had to sleep. Just a warm and quiet signal in the corners where I stay. Like love can travel farther, even when it can't find a way. I order coffee, watch the curtains lift, the skyline soften into blue. 1,000 windows hold 1,000 lives, but none of them are lived like you. We were not built for photographs alone, or promises the years outgrew. We were a tender kind of passing fire, still bright in everything again. A lamp in every city for the part of you I keep, not to bring you back to me, not to wake what had to sleep. Just a warm and quiet signal in the corners where I stay. Like love can travel farther, even when it can't find a way. Maybe home was never just one place. Maybe home was how you changed the space. A bedside glow, a softened wall, a little mercy in it all. And though the roads keep pulling me apart, you still live gentle in the heart. A lamp in every city, still burning low for you, not for a second chance, not for a dream come true, just for the grace of knowing some lights refuse to fade, and even lonely rooms can hold the love we made. Hotel glass and midnight rain, the room grows dim, the night grows deep. I leave one lamp beside the bed for the part of us I keep. Painted horses stood half lit, music thinning in the square. One last carousel kept turning through the cooling evening air. Carousel at closing time, golden blue against the dark. You were laughing by the railing, and it struck me like a spark. Carousel at closing time, lights still circling in my mind. Some nights don't ask went out in sections. Silence settled on the ride. You just looked across the empty field with the last light in your eyes. No address and no returning. No long promise left behind. Only one unfinished circle still revolving in my mind. Carousel at closing time. Golden blue against the dark. You were laughing by the railing, and it struck me like a spark. Carousel at closing time. Lights still circling in my mind. Some nights don't ask to stay forever. They just turn and leave you bright. Now when distant music trembles from a fairground out of sight, I remember how that spinning made the whole world feel alive.
Cold paper in my pocket, rain running down the rail. The station clock kept shining like it knew I might still fail. I wrote your name in blue ink and folded back the page. A careful little ending that never found its place. The platform smelled of distance, of iron, smoke and rain. And every passing window kept whispering your name. We had a song between us, half finished in the car. A chorus built from maybe, from city lights and stars. But life kept taking corners. We never learned to bend. So I kept all the last words and never called it end. Would it change a single thing if I let the silence sing? Paper moon goodbye still glows above the line. I let the train keep moving, but a part of you stays mine. No seam, no shattered heart, no storm I can't get through. Just a soft lit kind of leaving. silver hum and let the leaving stay undone. Paper moon, goodbye, still glows above the line. I let the train keep moving, but a part of you stays mine. No scene, no shattered heart, no storm I can't get through. Just a soft flick kind of leaving that still turns me toward you. Some loves are not for keeping, some loves are made to light. A window in the distance, a warmth inside the night. Not lost, not fully gone, just quieter than truth. A little glow that lingers in everything I do. Paper moon, goodbye, still hangs above the line. I won't send the pages now, I'll let the feeling shine. No blame, no final plea, no need to start anew. Just a graceful kind of memory, still singing me to you. Cold paper in my pocket, rain fading from the rail. The last train took the distance, but not the light I held.
Paper lanterns on the bridge, small gold circles in the blue. Evening open like a ribbon, and the river carried through. Paper lantern season, floating slow below the sky. Love was not a wound this time, just a light that passed us by. Paper lantern season, warm against the cooling air. For a moment all the city looked like hope was everywhere. Vendors folding up their tables, children running past the rail. Someone tuning up a radio, soft and thin and full of dusk. You were waiting near the water, with a sleeve rolled from your hand. Not like someone I had missed, more like someone I could stand. Paper lantern season, floating slow below the sky. Love was not a wound this time, just a light that passed us by. Paper lantern season, warm against the cooling air. For a moment all the city looked like hope was everywhere. We did not speak of other people, did not search for grander words, only watched the lantern shadows break and gather with the current on the far side. Windows flickered, scooters crossed the narrow street, and the whole night felt so The heart can learn a new shape from a beautiful passing thing. Paper lantern season, floating slow below the sky. Love was not a wound this time, just a light that passed us by. Paper lantern season, warm against the cooling air. For a moment all the city looked like hope was everywhere. Paper lanterns growing smaller, river turning dark and wide. I walked home with quiet brightness, moving softly at my side.
A needle kissed the darkened groove. The room turned amber, slow and true. No one spoke above the local sound, and suddenly I was back with you. The bartender was wiping down the rail. The chairs were nearly put away. A small old record spun against the night and brought your shadow through the gray. You used to laugh before the chorus came, like you already knew the line. You wore the evening lightly on your skin and made the ordinary shine. I didn't break, I didn't fall, I just felt your warmth inside it all. You're the color left on vinyl after the music leaves the air. Not the ache of what is over, just the glow of having been there. And even now, when midnight softens and the room turns tender blue, I hear the record spinning slowly, and it always turns to you. We were never loud with promises. We kept our wonders small and bright. A hand on glass, a look across the room, a quiet kind of Saturday night. The years have taken many things from us, the rush, the need, the fevered pace, but not the way one song can light a wall or put old kindness on a face. No grand return, no second try, just memory learning how to shine. You're the color left on vinyl after the music leaves the air. Not the ache of what is over, just the glow of having been there. And even now, when midnight softens and the room turns tender blue, I hear the record spinning slowly, and it always turns to you. Maybe love is not the keeping, maybe love is what remains in the grain beneath the melody, in the warmth that outlives names. If that's all the night can offer, it is more than empty hands. It is one slow light continuing turned amber, soft and true. Nothing in the night came back unchanged, but all of it still sounded like you. Silver on the window, blue across the floor. Your shadow crossed the doorway like I knew you from before. Velvet in the room and the city moving slow. Your eyes met mine like a record I still know. No wild confession, no dramatic scene, just a little spark inside a polished dream. You smiled first, I felt the whole night bend like broken lines were ready to mend. We said hello, the way grown hearts do, soft on the surface, burning through. And when the band of lights turned gold, I felt your quiet hand say, don't let go. Take me in the midnight sway, turn this glitter into grace. Hold me where the dark turns blue. Tonight the room belongs to two. No rush, no need to speak too much. Love looks better just in touch. If we move, don't move away. Keep me in a midnight sway. Crystal in your laugh, summer in your breath. You made the silence feel alive again. The crowd kept fading like a painted wall. You were the only rhythm in it all. No promises hanging over our heads, no old ghosts sleeping under the bed. Just this slow fire, polished and bright, two almost strangers getting it right. You leaned in close, the whole night glowed, a secret only the mirror ball knows. Take me in a midnight sway, turn this glitter into grace. Hold me where the dark turns blue. Tonight the room belongs to two. No rush, no need to speak too much. Love looks better just in touch. If we move, don't move away. Keep me in a midnight sway. Maybe we were written wrong, maybe we were written late, but your pulse inside my hand feels a lot like fate. So let the music draw the line from your heartbeat into mine. Turn this glitter into grace. Hold me where the dark turns blue. Tonight the room belongs to two. No fear, no need to chase the dawn. Some perfect things arrive half gone. If this is all we
I stopped where we were, and you were everywhere. Neon after rain, your name in the light. Love still moves so slow through the heart of the night. Neon after rain, soft and blue again. I still feel you near in the city after rain. Late bus, empty stop, flowers closing down. Your hand in my coat, no words, just the sound of the wind through the trees, of the cars far away. One small look from you kept the dark in its place. Neon after rain, your name in the light. Love still moves so slow through the heart of the night. Neon after rain, soft and blue again. I still feel you near in the city after rain. Old vinyl, warm room, your perfume in the hall. Rooftop undergo, spring return to it all. Neon after rain, your name in the light. Love still moves so slow through the heart of the night. Neon after rain, soft and blue again. I still feel you near in the city after rain. Red light, wet street, one last silver train. Love still stays with me like neon after rain. Why sad endings stay so long? Why some faces in the half-light feel like lines inside a song? Taxis passed and blurred the puddles. Late cafe lights burn low, and the city moved around us like a reel in amber gold. When the last train bell was ringing, you looked up and brushed your hair. Said, I like how nights can open when you think there's nothing there. Then you turned toward the crosswalk, streetlight resting on your coat. And I stood beneath the marquee with your voice still in the glow. The cinema on the corner, golden flicker in the rain. You walked out into the blue light, and the whole street felt changed. The cinema on the corner, soft as smoke and city glow. Some nights start like borrowed stories, then become your own. Now whenever film light trembles on a wet and quiet block, I remember how one evening made the dark feel less alone. open slowly, and a heart that learns at last. Open windows, open sky, little signs of being alive. Not a miracle, not a fire, just a softer state of mind. Open windows, open day, one returning in its time. I don't need the night to save me, I can meet the light this time. Curtains move, the room turn gold. Nothing loud, but something changed. And I'll let the morning find me like my name had been remade.
River light on the railing steel, your coat moved softly in the wind. The city blurred behind your face, like time was letting us begin. We met where evening opens into gray, and water carries back the sky. You smiled away, remembered things, still smile. Half in the world and half in wild. No sudden touch, no reckless rush to speak, just two calm voices standing near. The kind of nearness older hearts can hold without pretending not to feel. We talked of roads, of separate years, and all the weather in between the tears. Where the river did not end, something in us still remained. Not a promise to begin again, not a fire to rearrange, just a silver, steady kindness flowing under what has changed. Where the river did not end, love learned a softer name. A boat went by, its windows warm with gold, and broke the dark in moving lines. I almost saw the life we never had, then let it drift and leave us kind. Because the truth was not in what we lost, but in how gently we stood still. You're close enough to stir the oldest part, yet far enough to spare my will. No blame survived that open air, only the grace of finding you still there. Where the river did shattered to retrieve. You know some hearts, though set apart, still keep a shoreline in the dark. Where the river did not end, something in us still remains. Not the ache of what could have been, not the weight of old refrains, just a quiet human beauty moving through us like the rain. Where the river did not end, love learned a softer name. River light on the railing steel, you turned, the city pulled away. But in the water under night, a part of us was left to stay. Kitchen light, 1:45. Paper pale as winter blue. My hand above your name stayed still, like one more word might break my will. I drew the line where your address should be, then watched the midnight gather over me. The window held a faint and silver rain. A passing train moved softly through my veins. I wrote of all the rooms we never kept, the nights we smiled instead of when we wept. No grand confession waiting to be found, just quiet truth too fragile to send out. Would ink undo what time has done, or wake a fire already gone? Unmailed blue still lives between my hands, a small unfinished moon above our broken plans. I could let it fly, I could let it fall apart, but some goodbyes stay folded, just to guard the heart. The kettle cooled, the city turned to glass. I heard old footsteps drifting from the past. Not in the hall, not at the door for real, just in the way some empty spaces feel. I thought of how your laughter filled my coat, how every winter carried summer's note. And though the years have taught me how to bend, there's one soft thing in me that doesn't end. No blame, no plea, no final scene, just everything we might have been. Unmailed blue still lives between my hands, a small unfinished moon above our broken plans. I could let it fly, I could let it fall apart, but some goodbyes stay folded, just to guard the heart. Maybe love is not the keeping, maybe love is what remains when the stamp is never placed and the silence learns your name. Not a wound that asks for mending, not a vow I still pursue, just a tender kind of leaving, tinted midnight blue. beside my heart. Kitchen light, 1:45. Paper pale as winter blue. I laid the envelope back down and let the dark hold what I knew. Neon on the ceiling, dust across the glass. I trace the line of silence where a shadow used to pass. The door gave way so softly, like it knew me from before. A faded gold reminder, still sleeping on the floor. No voices by the counter, no sparks above the bar. Just one small ribbon of memory reaching from the dark. We used to turn so slowly, the room forgot to breathe. Every little heartbeat had nowhere else to be. Now the mirror keeps its secrets, but the walls still move in time. Like the night we were forever in a borrowed silver light. I don't need the crowd again to feel your hand come back like then. In this velvet echo room, you still circle through the blue. Every step I take alone finds a trace of me and you. No, I won't wake the past. No, I won't ask what's gone. But when the rhythm brushes low, your light keeps dancing on. A broken little spotlight still trembled near the stage, like something of a story refused to show its age. The floor remembered pressure, the rail remembered skin, and all the empty air around me let the old heat in. Maybe love was never meant to stay in daylight clear. Maybe it was built for glowing aftertaste and years. Still something in the stillness made my guarded heart give way. Not to pain, not to longing, just to one unfinished sway. And in the hush I almost knew the room was breathing back with you. In this velvet echo room, you still circle through the blue. Every step I take alone finds machines and no distractions, no bright windows pulling through, only voices crossing softly, only shadows turning blue. We spoke about the heat in summer, broken clocks and rooftop birds. Nothing deep and nothing urgent, still it felt like something stirred. Then the power came back slowly, blue signs waking one by one. But the dark had changed the rhythm, and the night had come undone. You just smiled and crossed the crosswalk. I stayed still beneath the wires while the city found its heartbeat. I was holding one small fire. When the city lost its sound, I heard your laughter in the dark. Not too loud, not meant to stay, just enough to leave a spark. When the city lost its sound, all the usual noise was gone, and for one suspended hour, something rare was moving on. Now whenever lights are trembling on a late and crowded block, I remember how the silence made the whole world stop and talk. Red light on the dashboard, street signs drifting by. A melody came through the speakers and opened up the night. I was doing fine with the city in my hands, counting all the strangers making other plans. Then that little chorus filled the passenger side and brought back the shine we used to hide. Your jacket on my shoulders in the summer rain, lipstick on a glass, you whisper in my name. Not a perfect story, not a fairy tale, but something in the echo never really failed. I didn't turn it down, I let it take me where we used to be. Radio hearts don't really disappear, they light up in the dark when the old song appears. You and I still live between the lines in a little silver hook in a backbeat time. I won't call, I won't chase the night, but I'll dance with your memory under these lights. Radio hearts, even when they break apart, keep a little rhythm in the dark. The avenue was shining like a satin stream, every passing window looked a little like a dream. I could almost feel your fingers at my waist, that slow electric pull I never could replace. You were all soft danger, all perfume and spark, a gold frame promise in a velvet dark. We lost the time and that much is true, but losing us never erased you. So I let the chorus rise like midnight opening its eyes. Radio hearts don't really disappear, they light up in the dark when the old song appears. You and I still live between the lines in a little silver hook in a backbeat time. I won't call, time. I won't cry for what we couldn't save. I'll wear the shine of every move we gave. Radio hearts, even when they break apart, leave a dancing shadow on the heart. Red light on dashboard, morning coming through. The song is almost over, but the glow still sounds like you. Headlights sliding over midnight glass. The avenue was breathing slow. A silver song came through the radio and pulled me somewhere I still know. I eased the car sliding over midnight glass. The city kept on moving through. I drove away, but in that fading sound, the night still carried you.
to the ones who miss the rain. Then a record started turning, gentle drums and silver keys, and the whole night leaned in closer, like it knew what I would need. No grand sorrow, no confession, no old ghost to let me through. Only one unseen companion, keeping time with every street. When the broadcast faded softly, dawn was silver at the edge, but the warmth stayed in the static, like a promise with no end. Radio after midnight, your voice swimming through the blue, soft and slow across the silence, like the city turning new. Radio after midnight, I still hear that distant station holding open one more